Welcome to Spa-Francorchamps, everyone. Let's dive right into this explainer, because what we witnessed wasn't just another weekend on the racing calendar. It was a monumental clash, a defining battle in the 2026 season where legends quite literally fell and a whole new era of warriors stepped up. We're talking about a weekend of immense sacrifice, absolutely crushing operational failures, and the definitive, undeniable rise of a teenage prodigy.
You know, in this sport, every single decision changes the future. And under the dark, stormy skies of Belgium, the choices made by the drivers in the cockpit and the strategists sitting on the pit wall completely altered the course of this continental war. We're about to look at how a massive 20-point championship swing was decided in just a matter of seconds.
All right, setting the stage with Chapter 1, The Gathering Storm, the looming battle of Spa-Francorchamps.
So to really understand what happened, we have to look at the immense, almost crushing pressure teams like Ferrari are facing. Right now, they are managing the most aggressive upgrade program in the paddock. It's like they're walking a tightrope without a net. This perfectly captures the relentless operational complexity of the 2026 season. Because it's not just about building the fastest machine, is it? It's about having the bandwidth to actually operate it flawlessly under maximum pressure. And honestly, that is exactly what would critically define the hours to come.
Moving right along to Chapter 2, Warriors Assemble. The combatants take the grid. Now, what's incredibly fascinating here is the sheer loyalty shown by Isack Hadjar. He acted as the ultimate team player for his frontline commander, Max Verstappen. Facing a massive 30-place grid penalty for a power unit change, Hadjar didn't just accept his fate, he actually weaponized it. He voluntarily punched a hole in the air to give Verstappen the perfect aerodynamic tow, the slipstream, in qualifying. It was a totally selfless act that sent him right to the back of the pack, 21st on the grid, ready for an absolutely grueling fight through the field.
Which brings us to Chapter 3, the first casualty, the tragic fall of George Russell.
Okay, watch how incredibly fast this unfolds. Right off the line, Russell gets this phenomenal launch, tucked right behind Verstappen, but then his hybrid battery suddenly stops deploying. He exits turn 1 down 35% on power. As they climb the terrifying elevation of Eau Rouge, he is a sitting duck, totally swamped by the Ferraris of Leclerc and Hamilton. Approaching the heavy braking zone at Les Combes, Russell sweeps to the outside to protect his turf. But Hamilton, who's compromised by the turbulent, dirty air of the car ahead, loses front-end grip and slides directly into Russell's rear right tire. Russell is pitched violently into the gravel trap, his race is instantly obliterated, and Hamilton gets slapped with a 5-second penalty.
Seriously, just imagine being strapped into one of the fastest machines on Earth, climbing the steepest, most dangerous section of the entire track, and your electrical deployment just completely abandons you. Russell described being at the top of Eau Rouge with absolutely 0% battery. He was completely exposed, totally defenseless against the chasing pack.
Taking a breath here, we have to recognize the emotional weight of this moment. I am numb to the disappointment. This wasn't just a mechanical failure, it was a shattering blow to his title hopes. Remember, he was 25 points behind coming into this race. Now, suffering his third consecutive race without points, the psychological toll is just immense. He did everything right off the line, only to be betrayed by his own machinery.
But from the ashes of that early chaos, we enter Chapter 4, Rise of a New Leader. Antonelli claims the throne.
At just 19 years old, Kimi Antonelli is driving with the cold, calculated execution of a seasoned veteran. He secured his 6th win of the season here, but let's be clear, it was definitely not handed to him. He hunted down Charles Leclerc, perfectly timing his attack right as the track returned to full speed after a neutralized virtual safety car period. Antonelli powered past the Ferrari on the Kemmel Straight without even flinching. He executed just flawless race management while navigating all the chaos unfolding in his mirrors. 50 points. To put that into perspective, this massive number represents Antonelli's staggering lead in the championship right now. With 12 races remaining, he has absolutely cemented his status as the undisputed leader of the pack. This wasn't just a win today, it was a definitive passing of the torch to a brand new generation of warrior.
Now for Chapter 5, The Survivors. Veterans fighting through the chaos.
An incredible hard-fought climb from 21st to 6th. This highlights Isack Hadjar's heroic, unstoppable charge through the field. After sacrificing his own qualifying for his teammate, Hadjar executed a brilliant punishing strategy from the absolute back of the grid. He defended fiercely in the final stints to secure highly valuable points for his faction.
And speaking of that faction, Max Verstappen secured 3rd place.
Amidst all the chaos, the penalties, the wild strategic gambles going on around him, Verstappen quietly and methodically claimed a monumental legacy milestone, Red Bull's 300th Formula One podium.
But looking across the battlefield at Ferrari, a really striking number emerges. 5. 5 separate FIA investigations or incidents involving Ferrari in a single weekend. Honestly, that isn't just bad luck. It's a glaring symptom of a system under immense, incredible stress.
Tracing this timeline, we see a team pushing their machines to the absolute breaking point. On Friday, a procedural breach with tire returns. Saturday, a massive rebuild required after Hamilton's heavy crash in practice. Sunday, lap 1, the collision with Russell. By lap 8, Leclerc and Piastri are making contact. And finally, a highly dangerous, unsafe release during a pit stop. Taken together, these incidents reveal a team that is fracturing under maximum pressure.
Breaking down that unsafe release objectively, it shows a critical, systemic, operational failure. Hamilton radioed to ask about a front wing adjustment. The pit wall said no, but the crew on the ground thought yes. A mechanic was directly in front of the car preparing to adjust the wing. Meanwhile, Hamilton was given the automatic green light to go, and he correctly followed it, releasing the car directly into the path of the working mechanic. It's absolutely vital to note this was entirely independent of the driver's actions. It was a pure communication breakdown in the heat of battle that put a human life in danger.
So we are essentially looking at two vastly different warring factions right now. On one side, Ferrari possesses raw, blazing speed. I mean, their car is incredibly fast through the corners. But that speed is plagued by chaotic operational breakdowns. On the other side, Mercedes. Even when their car isn't the absolute fastest in a straight line, they execute with ruthless, calculating operational maturity. Mercedes didn't let Russell down. A mechanical part did. But Ferrari's missteps, those were systemic.
Finally, Chapter 6. The future begins here. The shifting landscape. The new world order is officially set. Kimi Antonelli stands tall at 204 points, holding a commanding lead over Lewis Hamilton at 159 and George Russell at 154. This really is a definitive passing of the torch. Think about it. A 19-year-old is leading two of the greatest veterans the sport has ever seen. But as we know, the battle is far from over. With the Hungarian Grand Prix on the horizon, Ferrari has exactly 9 days. Just 9 days to fix their operational gap, to clean up their communications before they deploy their next critical aerodynamic upgrades. They have the speed for sure, but speed without structure is just chaos.
Which leaves us with one final lingering question as we head into the second half of this monumental season. What will ultimately win this epic war? Will it belong to the team that builds the absolute fastest car, or the team that knows best how to use it?